Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, hope y'all are doing great. And my name's Lee Cole, and today is Friday, and this is my daily business scope, which I do 9 o'clock Monday through Friday, 9 Eastern Time. I hope y'all are doing great. Got a interesting little show for you today. Let me take a moment and go over here to Twitter. And let's grab this link and populate it out to Facebook and populate it out to LinkedIn. So join me on my daily business scope. We're talking about perfection, scoping, and perhaps a little Q&A if anybody's interested. So pop that in there. Hope y'all are having a wonderful morning. I am having a great morning. Copy, let's post that. Paste. Very cool. And Ganstrain, how are you? I hope you're doing great. So, let me introduce myself and we will get on to the topic. My name is Lee Cole. I've been a full-time online and network marketing entrepreneur for 5 years now. I used to be a high school mathematics teacher, quit my job in the summer of 2010. Started a business consulting with local businesses about internet stuff. Yeah, I actually did know what I was talking about because for 3 years prior to that, I had made a lot of extra money by building and selling websites and doing all kinds of cool things. That kind of morphed into a business creating products and software and stuff. And then a little later on, in order to build more of an asset base for myself, I got involved in network marketing. And I'm with a company in Germany that sells gold called Karatbars. So that's my bio in short. What I do on these daily business scopes is I just share my experience. So I've got, what would that make it, 8 years of experience doing this stuff. Thank you for the heart. I love those hearts. Trying to get that heart count up. Also, if you like the content, swipe and share. Share to Twitter, share to Facebook. That would be greatly appreciated. My followers keep growing. We're going to talk about my success here on Periscope because I've only been doing this a month. My followers keep growing, and CGHHJIV, I can't pronounce that, just joined. Thank you so much for joining the show. And yeah, so basically I wanted today's show to be kind of a wrap up of, this is the 2nd of October, wrap up of my first month periscoping. Kind of tell y'all what happened. Kind of a short case study type thing. Wired Girl, I hope you're doing well, and thank you so much for joining the show again. I love seeing my peeps on these periscopes. I don't know about you guys, but I think you get a lot of really, really important tidbits on how to do this thing from me on these scopes. Cutie Maida, how are you? Me, Rhonda Marie. Nice to see y'all. Good morning to you, Wired Girl. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful morning. Again, my goal is to, and I can't pronounce that, Gerselosdemmer 1. This is kind of like being in traffic when you see a vanity license plate and you're sitting there thinking about it and sounding it out. And there was one, I can't remember what it was, but it took me like a minute to figure it out. It said it ended up saying Puerto Rican, single 121. Oh, I like that. That rhymes. Nice handle. Welcome to the scope. But it was spelled PR2, Port2, PR, and then the number 2, and then RCN or something like that. It took me a while to figure that one out. I'm horrible with those little letter things like jumbles. But anyway, someone is from Moscow, single 121. Hi from Moscow. I would love to go to Moscow sometime. Awesome. And I suspect it's a wee bit colder there than it is here in Atlanta. But very cool. Thank you for joining the show. So, brief update. I had a bunch of people just join on. Brief update about me. I'm a full-time internet and network marketing entrepreneur. Have been for 5 years. And on these scopes, I do daily business scopes, 9 o'clock Eastern, Monday through Friday. And on these scopes, I try to talk. Oh, I love those hard streaming, and thank you so much. I try to talk about this general way. It's an alternate, new, cool way of making money. I do it successfully. I'm the breadwinner for my family. I have a good standard of living. Serpgink, how are you? I love pronouncing these handles. How are you today? Um, I have a very good standard of living and a really enviable lifestyle. And it's, as I say to friends every now and then, it's a whole heck of a lot better than working for a living. So on these scopes, I like to share my experiences, share stuff that I think is really important about online businesses, about network marketing. I do both successfully because I am a firm believer that if you get the inside right, okay? I am in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States, Atlanta, Georgia. So this would be in the southeast part of the United States, what we generally call the South. I'm a firm believer that if you get the inside right, the outside will take care of itself. Serpgink is King Prez backwards. Okay, I got that. So I'm a firm believer that if you get the inside right, in other words, if you get your head and your heart right, okay, and I'm not saying you have to follow some specific religion. That's not the deal. I'm saying that, if you have faith in yourself, belief, if you have, if you have the basically the right beliefs and the right thoughts lead to the right actions, which is going to create the life that is right for you, and that actually works. But if you try to do it from the outside in, it may look like it's working, but it's never truly going to work. So that kind of leads us to the first topic for today's show. And I've talked about this topic in so many ways over the past few days. It must be important. And that is perfection and how incredibly poisonous perfection is. So take me and scoping. I was actually looking at a scope. You can see who I follow. I think I follow like 5 people, but there's this lady, Kim Garst, whom you should follow if you're interested in periscoping. She's got like 4 million some odd hearts and zillions of followers and really knows her way around social media. Just a really brilliant person. And she was doing a little Q&A about how she did periscopes, and she started talking about her lighting. And I'm thinking, dude, you have lighting. That's kind of cool. I mean, I'm in this crazy room that I'm in is my makeshift video studio because I shoot videos for my courses that I create. This crazy thing behind me is not a shower curtain. This is basically it's like a theater curtain. I pull it up behind myself. My computer's over there. I pull it up behind myself, and it makes a nice background for me. When I'm and I don't wear just an old blue jean shirt and stuff. When I shoot serious videos and stuff. But other than that, I don't really have any amazing lighting. I just use natural lighting, and I shoot a lot of scopes wherever I happen to be. I like, because I work at home, sometimes I like to go out and get a coffee and stuff, and I'll just have a great idea for a scope and shoot it there. And for me, it's all very like, so sort of like in the moment, and I think people kind of like that. And I'm not knocking on Kim's idea of having lighting. I just never thought of that. I may get some because the lighting in here is kind of weird. But my point is, this is probably my 36th scope. Kartik, how are you? Thank you for following me the other day. I appreciate that. This is, I think, probably my 36th scope. And, I did not, I'm actually having a wonderful day already. I didn't wait on perfection to get this thing going. Probably New York 00. How are you? Welcome to the show. This is my daily business scope. It happens Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock, and I'm Lee Cole. So, yeah, I didn't wait on perfection. I just basically, my first scope, okay, my first scope, which you can go to my blog, internetmaverick.com, and find all of my scopes. But my first scope doesn't even have a title because I didn't understand that where it says, which is really kind of silly, it says, what are you looking at now? Okay. I thought, what do you care? What am I looking at now? That, but then it dawned on me later because my first scope says untitled as the title. I thought, okay, that must be where you put the title. So my point is, I'm a huge believer in not waiting on perfection before you start doing stuff, especially when it comes to online marketing, especially when it comes to network marketing. Let's talk about both of those because those are wildly different businesses, but they all fall under that umbrella of alternative income, work from home, stuff like that. Love those hearts, guys. Thank you so much. By the way, if you like the content, swipe and share. You can share to Twitter, share to Facebook. I would appreciate that. Share to your followers. iPhone, left to right. Android, bottom to top. Thank you so much. So let's unpack that a little bit. So in online or internet marketing, what does waiting on perfection mean? Waiting on perfection means buying another course, waiting until you know all about, what you're doing. In other words, you're basically, this is a fear-based issue. You're basically substituting, you're putting off getting going, right? Because you are essentially, I think, scared of failing or scared of looking stupid, which is kind of like failing. And you need to let that go, okay? And, I don't care if you do periscopes or what you're doing. I fundamentally, this is my life. I'm not you. I'm just suggesting that if you want to move out and do something new, do something cool, then you've got to let go of the perfection thing. Serp Gang, you've got to let go. It just said your invited followers. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate that. You've got to let go. Or rather, King Prez. You got to let go of that perfection thing, man. So well, does that mean that you do stuff when you're utterly clueless? Well, if it's a simple platform like Periscope, it might be that. My first scope, I, downloaded the app to my phone. I think I probably read a blog post and I said, well, to heck with that, man. I'm just going to do one and, figure it out later, right? Thank you so much, Wired Girl, for sharing this on Twitter. I'm going to figure, I'll just figure it out as I go. The worst thing is I'm going to look stupid. Okay. Well, look, I'm old enough to where I can honestly say that I have looked stupid a bunch. And I'm still here and it didn't kill me and didn't kill my business. And if somebody thinks that, if somebody thinks poorly of me, guess what? I don't even know it. So it doesn't matter. So you need to release yourself from the am I good enough nervousness type thing and just dive into this. Because so much of this stuff you will never figure out unless you're actually doing it. I'm playing with my, these are clothespins that are used to move this thing around, in case you're wondering what this crazy thing is. In network marketing, oh my God, Reagan Group, thank you for joining the show. This is my daily business scope, happens 9 o'clock Eastern, Monday through Friday. My name's Lee Cole, and I talk about online entrepreneurship and also network marketing. So we're discussing the pernicious effects of perfection on people, how it stops you. Oh my God, do I ever see the perfection issue raise its ugly head with network marketing? Network marketing is the business of joining a company, getting other people interested in joining that company, building a downline and all that stuff. And no, those aren't pyramid schemes like Bernie Madoff. If you want to know what a pyramid scheme is, log on to whatever the main website for the federal government of the United States is and check out Social Security. That is a pyramid scheme. Social Security Administration does nothing that Bernie Madoff does nothing themselves that Bernie Madoff didn't do, and he's in jail and they're not. So, that's my soapbox for the day. But no, these are very legitimate companies. I'll be happy to explain to you. I actually explained on a few scopes ago how network marketing works from a corporate point of view. But anyway, uh, the perfection issue, oh my God, because network marketing is fundamentally about people talking to people. And where do human beings get scared? Okay? I mean, we're pack animals. We are fundamentally, if we join a group, then we are pre-programmed psychologically to figure out who's the leader. We're like dogs. This is why we get along with dogs so well, and why dogs get along with us so well, and why cats look a little weird. But we're fundamentally pre-programmed to find out who's the leader, who are the top. We even have a name for it, top dogs, right? We're that. This is how we work. I guess it worked okay back in the day when we were running around in little bitty tribes of about 10 or 15 people, but you got to free yourself of that, because you don't have to be where your little tribe told you where you had to be, or where your society told you had to be, or where your mom told you had to be, or something like that. You can decide where you want to be, and if you're adding value to the world, you can move into however you want to move, economically and socioeconomically. At least in our world, you can. There are parts of the globe where you can't do that, but in the United States and many developed nations, you can do that. So, um, but so human beings are fundamentally scared to talk to other human beings because there's so many issues. We are worried about looking stupid. We are worried about what the other person thinks of us, and it takes a very mature uh, person who's done a lot of work on themselves to where they can get to where they just don't care. Okay, I don't care what you think. I'm just bringing this information to you. And I see this with people that I sponsor into my own business, and with people that talk to me about network marketing. I see lots of issues, like people have to totally understand the compensation plan before they go talk to somebody. I don't. I'm with a company called Karatbars. They sold gold. I don't understand the compensation plan. Okay, I used to teach mathematics. I'm a really smart guy. I don't understand the compensation plan. If somebody asks me about the compensation plan, I don't answer. I just say, here's the website where the compensation plan is. Go read that. If they really want to know something, I know somebody way up in my upline who is a compensation plan geek. I just get them on the phone with that person, and then they can answer that question. That makes zero sense to me to worry about compensation plans. I mean, I know so many people sitting around about worrying about compensation plans, and they have nobody in their deal, right? Because fundamentally, people really don't care about that. They just want to know the basics. Can you make money with this? Yes. Are you making money with this? Yes. Well, how long did it take you to make money with this? Well, I started making money with this kind of like off the get-go. It's a pretty good company. Or you tell the truth about your experience, okay? Cool. Well, that's most people. That's about all they need to know. I mean, if they're going to sit there and geek eyes the whole compensation plan, you probably don't want them in your deal anyway. Look, they're probably just dead weight. They're never going to do anything. Another way people screw themselves up in network marketing is by getting all worried about, people who like get all analytical about what they're going to say. Okay, like, well, if the prospect says this, then I'm going to say that. That is so stupid. Okay, because see, here's the deal in network marketing. If you will talk to more people faster, your deal will grow. Okay, I mean, you can't screw this up. If you will talk to more people faster, your deal will grow. So instead of sitting around wondering about, well, if they ask me some sort of question that's phrased like this and so, and you get, even people train people like this, and then I say thus and so. It's like you've got this imaginary chess game in your head. Well, that's utterly stupid because by the time you finished that crap, I could call five people and talk to them, and or I could get on social media, which I use a lot in Karatbars, and I could get on social media and have like two or three new conversations scheduled for me to call people. So perfection will kill you. Okay, perfection is nothing more than you trying to control the outcome because you're scared. And I'm not saying that you should not be scared, okay? I'm not saying that at all, because I think that's probably impossible. What I am saying is that you should move ahead anyway, even though you're scared. And this goes for internet marketing, goes for network marketing. One thing that it doesn't go for is when you have to invest a lot of money in something, okay? So that, like let's say you're in real estate and you're buying real estate, and so you're going to put $50,000 into a piece of real estate and get like a $300,000 loan. Yeah, you should back off and go slow. You should know what you're doing, because you can unintelligently hammer yourself financially by doing that. Okay. Um, there's a difference between money and time. In a way, money you can always make more of if you have health and more, unless you're dead, right? Time you never get more of, but also, time you can be a little more creative with than money. Okay, money you have to protect. So, I'm not saying that you should just like drive down the expressway at 110 miles an hour. I'm not saying that. I am saying specifically when it comes to these businesses like internet marketing and network marketing, perfection is your enemy. So don't go telling your spouse that Lee told you that this new parachute that you invented that you've never tested, you're going to test it by jumping out of a plane instead of jumping off of a 10-foot tower. Okay? In other words, use your head. So that's my deal about perfection. Next thing I want to talk about today is Periscope. Periscope itself, because I think this is, and this kind of has something to do with perfection, because I've been talking to a lot of people about Periscope, and I've noticed that none of them have gotten onto Periscope on a consistent basis. And if they've gotten onto Periscope, i.e. not just listening to scopes, but doing scopes, if they have done that, they've dropped the ball and they're stopping. A couple of things about that. I mean, it's legitimate to stop. I mean, you only have 24 hours a day, so you do have to meter that out. And Periscope does what I need to do, which is build a bigger tribe. People who know Lee, what Lee's all about. I mean, if you've been like Wired Girl is on this scope, Wired Girl is on many of my scopes, Wired Girl probably feels like, and I'm assuming since it says girl that you're female, uh, Wired Girl probably feels like that she knows me real well now. Okay, I see that's what I want out of periscoping. I want people thinking, yeah, Lee, I know him, I know what he's about. Because that's tribe building right there. I love those hearts. Thank you so much. That is that. This is like social media on steroids. Periscope has a lot of social. It's got the swiping and sharing and the hearts and all that stuff. It's got a lot of social media aspects to it, and the live streaming just makes it very, very immediate. So that's what I want out of it. Now, somebody who's in a different kind of business and they're not looking for that kind of thing, then yeah, Periscope's not their deal. But I notice that a lot of people are not scoping, and I kind of think that maybe some of them might be missing the boat. Let me tell you, just give you a little synopsis of what Periscope did for me. So I kind of tried this as kind of an experiment. I knew I would be committed to it because I just like it, but I kind of tried it as an experiment. So I've got a screenshot on my phone of my profile from September the 2nd, and I had all of 25 hearts and I think 11 followers or something like that. And I had been scoping maybe about a week. So, and all I do to market my scopes is I take the link from Twitter, I put it in Facebook, I put it in Janie Gam, 11, how are you? Thank you for joining the show. This is my daily online business scope. All I do to market the scopes is take the link, when you start a scope, the link pops up on Twitter if you set your profile up right, the settings up right. And so I take that link, I pop it in Facebook, I pop it in LinkedIn, and I move on. That's all I do. And I use Catch Me to catch the scopes and give them a little permanent home. I get a few views over in Catch Me, not all that much, but I just take the embed link from Catch Me, pop it onto my blog, and that's what I do per scope. This is my 36th scope, so Monday through Friday I do scopes, and every now and then I'll just get a wild idea and I'll have some time to kill, and I love this venue, so I'll just do a scope about something else. So from September the 2nd, 25 hearts and I think it was 11 followers, I can't remember, something like that, all the way to today. So we're looking at October the 2nd, a month later, I've got over 4,500 hearts. And I think before I followed, now I may have some new followers now, but I think I'm at 117 followers. Now compared to some of the big dogs, 117 followers is not big at all. But you look at the growth of that, okay? So, I mean, from 11 to 117, that's 10 times growth. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to have 1,000 followers by the end of next month. I'm not saying that. But even if it grew at 100 a month, then, you know, in a year, let's say your followers, just from that little bit of baby marketing that anybody can do, let's say your followers grew 100 a month. And so over a year's time, and these scopes don't take much time, by the way, over a year's time, you would have over 1,000 followers. Now, I don't care what kind of business you're in. Something great is going to happen to your business as you move toward 1,000 followers. You got 1,000 people. Now, not all, you know, some of them have forgotten about you, but you're going to have a core of people like Wired Girl, thank you very much. Who show up on your scopes, who absorb your content, who share your stuff. You're going to have a solid core of people. If you have a solid, look, I've been doing online businesses and network marketing for a long time. If you have a solid core, it does not have to be a big core. If you have a solid core of people who follow you, understand you, feel like they know you, that you are authentic with, okay, authentic. Wear your stupid hat, you know, authentic for you may be different. This is authentic for me. Okay? By the way, I buy your stuff too. Thank you so much. I am an info marketer. I sell information products and software. Interestingly enough, I've only mailed and I've been doing that a long time. I have a pretty big list. I've only mailed my list twice for Periscope because I really wanted to see kind of like if I were, great question. What's the online business you've been doing and what do you sell? Hold that thought a second, and we'll do a little Q&A at the end. And if that just disappeared, if I forget that, then you know just ping me and just let me know. But I really wanted to have an experience on Periscope that wasn't special to me. Okay, because I've been selling info products for a long time and I have a pretty big list. So I didn't want to leverage that list too much. So I have literally only mailed my list twice, just twice about Periscope. Actually, one was just kind of a general thing about Periscope, just letting you know it's here and blah, 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 and, you know, follow me. And the other one was, I did create a little info product about Periscope, which you can find on my blog still, internetmaverick.com. And but other than that, all of my marketing has just been taking the link, moving it from Twitter to Facebook, Twitter to LinkedIn, and then having the scope. But to wrap up this point, if let's say you committed to scoping for a year, 6 months, whatever, if you have a core of several hundred people that consume your content, follow you, feel like they know you, actually probably do know you if you're being very authentic as I'm being, and if they know what you're about, and if you value that relationship, and if you honor that relationship, in other words, if you treat your audience right, do you realize what would happen to whatever business you're in? I don't care what business you're in. I mean, you could be, you could own a hair salon. If you sat there and scoped every day about hair salon type stuff, your business would explode within a year. Okay, because Periscope, it's got that little geographic feature. If you look at the icons down at the bottom, people can actually find scopes near them. All right, so if you're in an online business, like an affiliate marketing business, your business would explode. Oh my God, for network marketing, your business would just crazy explode. I don't mention Carrot Bars that much on Scopes because I wanted it to be kind of general. But the few times that I do, but this has already resulted in me talking to people that I would not have talked to about my deal, and getting people into my deal that I would not have otherwise met. So my online business, what do I do? So let's move to Q&A. If you got any questions about me and what I do, just pop them up there. I'll be happy to answer them. But what do I do? What do I sell? I specifically sell information products, so I basically do two businesses. My online business, I sell information products that teach people how to use the internet to make money. Those are generally sold through affiliates. You can go to my blog, internetmaverick.com, and when I launch a new product, I will put it there and find out about it. There are many ways on that particular blog to get on a mailing list. If you're interested in learning more about that, hop on a mailing list and you will receive emails from me. So that's what I sell. I also help other people create software for this marketplace. That's not my main deal, but I've had many different people come to me with software ideas because I know how to sell stuff to this marketplace and they know how to do software. So great question. Come to me with ideas for software and I will work with them and we'll come out with a piece of software that does something like, makes Twitter work better or LinkedIn or something like that, and then I'll help them sell that. What do I think about niche sites? That's kind of like asking a person who's an expert in horsemanship what they think about horses. I mean, that is a really broad topic. I would need to, that is a very valid way of doing affiliate marketing. So I think what you're asking me is the idea of having a small website selling an affiliate product. This is what I think of when I think of niche sites. Having a small website with some content on it, selling an affiliate product. Is that a good idea? Yeah, it's a great idea. I mean, it is, but it's a deep idea. Okay, so the big issue there, the only issue there really is how you're going to get traffic to it. All right, where does the traffic come from? Issue number one. And issue number two, does the traffic buy stuff? Okay. And issue number three, does that give you a positive return on your investment? It is that simple. Where does the traffic come from? Do they buy stuff? And does that give you a positive return on your investment? That's all there is to niche sites. So there's a lot of tweaking on that. I mean, I've got, sure, you can do search engine optimization. It's a lot harder than it used to be. I used to sell search engine optimization services to local businesses, and I quit, honestly, because the market changed so that in order to do it right, I had to charge so much money that it was getting difficult. It's just the market shifted because Google basically made SEO a lot harder. Yeah, you can do SEO, but there's a lot of it's kind of like telling somebody, here's a machine shop and here's a bunch of metal, and yeah, you can build a car. Yeah, a human being could build a car. I mean, cars are built by human beings, right? Human being could build a car. There's still cars nowadays. They're specialty made cars that are hand built. They take years to build. So yes, you can do SEO. I don't know how much you know about SEO though. See, so can you personally do SEO? I don't know. Can someone do SEO? Yes. So let's unpack this a little bit. Where does the traffic come from? Search engine optimization is the process of ranking your website for various keyword phrases, much harder than it was even 2 years ago. So you're going to have to, can you do that? Are you capable of doing that? Now, if you're capable of doing that for usually the niche site concept, you choose lower value keywords. In other words, many sites aimed at simpler to rank for keywords. So yeah, you can do that if you know how to do that. I mean, if you've got something on page one, and if it's getting traffic, then yeah, you can do that. And even if you don't do that, if you want to spend the time learning how to do that, People can do that. There are people doing that. I personally know people who do that. And they have their own little spins on things, but that's a doable thing. If you're just coming at that, remember I tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about everything, and there's not much ugly, but if you're coming at that like a total newbie, and I'm not trying to disappoint you or anything, just understand that you have a learning curve in front of you, okay? But go ahead, man, because look, suppose it takes you a year of part-time work to learn how to do that. Realize what you would have when you finished, when you got to the point where you had enough experience where you could look at a keyword and look at the traffic and look at the competition and look at the competition on the page one of Google and look at their backlinks, where you could figure all that out, and you have a pretty good gut feeling. Wow, can I rank this website or a page on this website for that keyword in a reasonable amount of time? No, I don't think I could for that keyword, but I could for this keyword. When you get to that point, that's a powerful, powerful skill to have. And it is worth paying the price in time and money if you got the cash. It's worth paying the price to learn that because, yeah, it's manageable for a newbie, but look, it's not going to be one of those things where you buy some $7 WSO info product. Just being real with you. It's not going to be one of those things where you buy some $7 or $12 WSO and you have these magic steps with this loophole, and then you're going to be able to just follow those steps and rank that site. That won't happen. I don't care what the sales letter says. That won't happen. Okay? Search engine optimization is a broad field and a big field and an ever-changing field. It's totally fascinating. You might have to learn things like PBNs and stuff like that. Private blog networks. Basically, you create and there's a whole science behind this. You create a blog network, and then you intelligently, not traceably, not without footprints and all that stuff, backlink your sites from various parts of that blog network and stuff like that. That works great. I got friends who do that. You can do that too. You just have to understand that what you're embarking on, it's not one of those deals where you just buy something and you follow the 5 steps and wow, I've got a site up. When it doesn't work in the first week, I don't want you to get disappointed. I want you to understand that you are learning a really cool, very lucrative skill, and it's worth putting in the price, it's worth putting in the time and perhaps the money to learn that if you got the cash. But if you're prepared for it like that, absolutely you can do that. And look what it would give you. I mean, you would be able to rank, cool, very cool, very cool. Who am I talking to? Janie Gam? Yeah, you can do that, absolutely. Just understand that it's more of a year-long process. My website is internetmaverick.com, INTERNET, internet, all one word, internet, and then the word maverick, like a wild horse, internetmaverick.com. So go over there, and it's got all my stuff on it. Yeah, so great, cool. That was a great question. But see, what, and I don't know if you're male or female, because it's just a handle, Janie Gam, but oh, you bet, you bet. I'm more than happy to give you advice. But see, I love that. What I said about SEO goes for a lot of other stuff too. It goes for pay-per-click. It goes for video marketing. It goes for what I do, product creation. It goes for business consulting, another thing that I do. See, all of this stuff works. Is just that I think when you're a newbie, and I understand why, because psychologically you want success because you have a low level of belief. And I'm not knocking you for that, because anybody with any sense wants to know, wow, if I spend a ton of time on this, am I going to get paid back? Am I going to have some results, right? Or am I just going to be wasting my time? I understand, I got it. But you got to understand that all these things take time. They take time to learn. There's a steep learning curve to this stuff. But the cool thing is, once you get over that learning curve, A, you know that, and B, the learning curve for other stuff is not as steep because you have a lot more sense about how internet marketing works, and you get a lot better at figuring out stuff fast. Usually you get a lot better at spotting who knows how to do it and going and asking them or paying them if you got the money to tell you. So yeah, that's a great question. Any other questions? How long have we been on the scope? About 30 minutes? Yeah, a little 40 minutes. That was a wonderful question. Any other questions I can help you guys out with? Sure, sure, absolutely. I can do hype. I'm a very accomplished copywriter, so I can do hype just fine. This isn't the place for hype, and this isn't the place for salesmanship, and this isn't the place for anything but the God's honest truth. Okay, so that's what I want these business scopes to be all about. But you know what Jenny Gam was asking me about SEO, and again, I don't know if you're male or female, can he or she learn SEO? That goes for everything in internet marketing. It's much harder to learn than people think. Network marketing, okay? Male, okay, Jenny Gam. So what he asked me goes for all facets of online marketing. Because look, like my dad told me one time when I was a little kid, he said, Lee, if being rich was easy, everybody would be rich. Well, what he meant was there has, I mean, from an economic point of view, if you ever took a course in economics, from an economic point of view, if there was not some sort of barrier to entry, then the profit on this stuff would go away. Now, the barrier to entry in online marketing is usually not a cash barrier, it's usually a time barrier. All right? So if, most people will start something and give up in the first week when really they should be committing 6 months to a year to learning that. But if you got that in your head, if you say, Lee told me I can do SEO and it's going to take me 6 months to a year to get to where I can proficiently make money doing this, if you've got that in your head, and if you don't get distracted, then you can do this. You can learn SEO, you can learn pay-per-click, you can learn video marketing, you can learn offline marketing, do all these things, whatever, tends to fit you. But it's not just true in online marketing, it's also true with network marketing. I see people get into my deal, with Karatbars all the time, and I understand they have a low level of belief, and I understand that. It's called common sense, but they want instant gratification, so they may get one or two people in their deal, and then they kind of stop. The reason they kind of stop is because they don't have that long-term vision, because it's not one or two people, I'm talking about network marketing now. It's not one or two people you want to get in your deal. Okay, I was talking with a lady in the same company that I'm in, but she's not, she's already in the company. I was just helping her out. Okay, so she has no financial relationship to me. But, I was straightening her head out about this stuff. So I was saying, look, she'd got one or two people in her deal and then stopped because nobody was doing anything. I mean, statistically, that's not how it works, right? I mean, you need to think, I'm working at this for a year or two. I'm doing the initial getting of people into this thing before your downline kind of gets big enough to where it starts growing by itself for a year or two. And once I do that, I will have a really nice asset for myself and my family the rest of my life. But most people can't think that long, because they get distracted and they want more immediate results and they have a little bit of the lotto mentality. But then that's kind of negative. But on the positive side, they've got common sense and they're saying, show me the money. Well, I'm sorry, the money doesn't come that fast. All right, so you have to be prepared to work a little longer. That's cool. I've talked for a long time, 45 minutes, and I'm happy to share. I just know you guys have been on here and you got better, well, maybe not better things to do, but you got other things to do. But I think we need some more scopes all about this. Okay, there is a science to starting something like this, getting through the rough part. I can tell you, Jenny Gam, I can tell you pretty much exactly what's going to happen to you psychologically over the next 3 months. So why don't we do this? Why don't I make myself, I'll tell you two things and then we'll go. Seth Godin, Godin, Seth Godin. Go to Amazon and buy his book. It's called The Dip, D-I-P, The Dip. And it's all about starting something new and what you have to go through psychologically to get to the point where it's working. All right? So I think I would suggest that book's fairly cheap. You can probably buy it on your Kindle reader, on your phone. I read everything on my phone nowadays and have for years. But buy that book, Seth Godin, The Dip. And I think that I'll make myself a note. And Monday, or maybe I'll even have some time later today, I'm not promising. But Monday, at least, I will talk about the dip and how it applies to this stuff. Because, see, if you have a map, it's kind of like the old pioneers going out west in the United States, you know. I mean, the first ones didn't know where they were going, you know. But after that, you had the Chisholm Trail, and you had these kind of like, you generally had an idea of where the Rocky Mountains were and what you were going to have to do to go through them and all that stuff. And then you get across them and go over into California into the, the West Coast and, great growing area and all that stuff. But it's kind of like if you know what's ahead, then you can get through it. You can psychologically get through it without getting stopped, and you can end up with success instead of just collecting a bunch of failures. So I'll make a note to talk about the dip on Monday. We'll start out next week with that. And in the meantime, buy that book and read it over the weekend. Again, my name's Lee Cole. I've been doing this stuff full time for 5 years. I actually do know what I'm talking about on these shows, which happen Monday through Friday. 9 o'clock in the morning, I share the good, the bad, and the ugly, and there's not much ugly with you. I just tell you the God's honest truth about what I think is so important. I'm an evangelist for this, which is learning a different way to make money. And I think that is so critical in today's world. I'm teaching you the same thing that I teach my teenage children, the same thing that I teach my coaching students, which is how to do this stuff. So, God bless you. Thank you so much for being on the show. I love you. I don't have a business or a show without you. Follow me, and just have a great Friday. I think it is Friday. I've been working so hard. I'm not sure. Let's make sure that, okay, it is Friday. Cool. Awesome. You bet, buddy. Hit me up on Facebook too. Facebook.com/LeeColeOnline. Facebook.com/LeeColeOnline. That's probably the best way to reach out to me. I'm here to help you. I want to help you change your relationship between your life, your time, and your money. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. I love those hearts streaming in. And if not sooner, I will see you guys Monday morning at 9 o'clock. See y'all later. I see all these hearts and I'm thinking, Lee, keep talking because you're seeing all this love coming your way. And I'm trying to get my heart count up. Trying to catch up with the big dogs like Randy Gage and Michael Hyatt. Yeah, they came with major platforms that I didn't come with. But they've got like 1 million hearts and stuff like that. It'll take me a while to get there. Doesn't matter. My goal is to develop an individual relationship with you and to help you as an individual make this stuff happen. Awesome. See y'all Monday, if not before. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I still see more hearts. This is beautiful.